going live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again to the world renowned known as the Intimacy Chronicles, where we talk about your life, our life, your parents' life, everybody's life. If it's pertaining to love, we talking about it. I'm your host, Dr. Love, and to my left,
that would be Mr. Sensational himself.
and to across the table from me,
Mr. Quiet Storm.
Quiet Storm.
And I am.
And to my right, no, excuse me.
You gotta wait till you get introduced.
Yes.
I gotta wait.
You wait till I introduce you.
That's what happens when you late.
Yes. You wait till I introduce you.
Oh, wow.
You wait till I introduce you.
Wait my turn.
Okay.
Always
Now,
first to go.
to my right,
It's me.
ain't that a
I am the
somebody
queen.
been drinking before they got here.
Who told you?
Right.
Say don't judge me.
Oh, don't judge. I'm trying to get this through.
So we thanking everyone for tuning in with us once again on this I don't even know what to call it, Monday. Something first it was raining.
No, it's Tropical Storm Nate.
Yes. For those who don't know.
Hurricane Nate.
For those who don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Did
Tropical
you tag
Storm
him in
Nate.
that? Yeah, you did tag him.
Tropical Storm Nate. So that is my name. So I'm coming through to make
Blow your house down.
blow your house down.
Puff and puff.
I ain't even puffing.
You ain't puffing.
No.
Just blowing.
No.
That sound kind of
But this is for all you ladies. Listen.
I see what kind
But
of
look, but check this out, right? But this is for all you ladies who counted me out. I told you one day I'd come through and make you wet.
Boom, boom, boom.
That was a weak shot.
Hey, listen.
Boom, boom, boom.
Good
What
living.
is that?
Hey, listen.
That was all I can give.
That's
Right.
all you had?
Right.
Oh, my God.
No.
But one thing about Hurricane Nate, it started off strong, but it kind of fizzled out.
Ain't that a bitch?
Right?
It kind of fizzled out by the time.
Listen. Now everybody want to make jokes on me. That's fine. That's fine.
The path wasn't distinct. And,
That's fine. But with this, but I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet.
They said that's what you always say.
So it was a quick moving storm.
Right.
It just went through.
Don't even know it's past right there.
Listen, I'm a non-bragging storm.
The Ninth Ward in New Orleans was like
Cloudy with a chance of satisfaction.
Listen. I'm not a bragging storm. I came through. I did what I needed to do, and I leave.
Yeah, it was a good storm. You didn't displace nobody out of it.
Yes, I ain't put nobody. See,
No need to call for him on
See?
that.
I'm a Karen storm.
Yeah.
Everybody was able to get to work, go home, feed their kids.
Yeah.
That's what they was able to do.
He ain't displaced nobody.
See, I didn't put nobody out of work. I didn't know. Wasn't nobody treading
It
waters.
was probably hard to do
Didn't
if
even
you
know.
fizzled out quick.
But he just made everybody wet.
I'm just saying.
Don't fucking judge me. Yeah.
My goodness.
I'm saying.
Okay.
I came through. I helped a lot of people. I got some of that dirt off some of y'all cars.
So you did what you were supposed to do, basically.
I did what I was supposed to
He
do.
did what he could do.
What he could do. Yeah. That's the difference. So I got
I'm
all my
I'm
mittens
debating if
up
I
in
want to stay
here
here or not.
tonight. I'm pretty excited. All my mittens up in here.
Yeah,
My
you
mittens
know.
in them.
The men's in them. Men's in them. We should be a candy.
Oh, God.
Men's in
Men's
them.
in them. Got the men's in them going tonight, you know?
Ain't no sugar in me.
So, what we talking about tonight?
So,
He's thinking.
the Queen called me earlier, said, what we talking about tonight? I said, well, I was the minister driving, so I couldn't think of nothing. But as I got here, It hit me.
What hit you?
God.
It hit me.
The speed bump.
It hit me.
What you
So tonight's topic is,
Wow.
why do we allow
Mm-hmm.
other people, friends, family, to dictate our relationships?
Ooh.
That's a great topic. Before we get into that topic, I want to ask a question. I really enjoyed doing the women's rap last night, and something came up that was kind of mind-blowing to me. Are we looking at women that dress sexy or are may be considered vixens as hoes? Is that how we're looking at those women? And does that mean because they dress a certain way that they are empty inside? Because to me, it seemed like judgment. If that's what we're doing, I think somebody that dresses a certain way, it could be that that is how they are comfortable in dressing. Are they labeled hoes because they dress a certain way?
Well,
If it walk like a duck,
I'm going
No.
to disagree with
No,
that. I think that's a
don't start
sexist.
tonight, bro.
Yeah, I
Please
think
don't
that's,
start
I think that's
but
very
I'm gonna tell you
sexist.
right now. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm here we go. Here we go with I can do whatever I want to do, and y'all shouldn't look at me, sir. You know what your intention was when you walked out the door with your ass out and everything else. Like, you want the attention that you're seeking. When you put yourself and portray yourself in a certain way, you can't put yourself in one light and say, "Don't look at me like this."
I think that statement, to me, it seemed like it was more towards maybe the girls and videos. I know a couple of video vixens that are.
It's a job.
It's a job, exactly.
You know.
And so are we that insecure in our womanhood that we pass judgment on them? Because that's what it seemed like. And I think for me, because I'm accepting of people that are comfortable enough to live their life the way they choose, does it mean that they are a lower caliber of woman because they portray themselves one way or they dress a certain way?
I don't know if we're. I would go as far to as a caliber, but if I see you in scrubs and I'm thinking you work in the medical field.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If I see
Right.
you,
Not unless you like scrubs.
I mean, because some people do housework, in their scrubs, so, but yeah, I can dig it.
If I see you in a mechanic's uniform, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Think you might work on cars.
Yeah.
If I see you where you got a skirt up where every time you breathe I can see booty, I might not be thinking like, okay, it's just comfortable.
Yeah.
You're seeking attention. So if you're looking for attention, I'm not going to put a label on you, but understand the attention that you're going
That
to
you
get
could get.
when you step out the door.
Right, and
You have to decide
I can
yourself how
see
you want
that
to
point.
Portray yourself.
So the person in scrubs would be looked at different than the person that may be a little bit more revealing. Are you going to have less respect for the lady that dresses a bit more skimpy than you would the woman in scrubs?
I don't know if it's a respect thing, but it's a choice thing.
I know, but I just felt like when I listened to the younger women talk about it, that they looked at those women as maybe women that were empty and that they were the superficial women. And I don't always think that that's the case.
What was the impetus for them to
What
portray
they,
themselves in that fashion? I mean, I'm like this. If a guy comes out, he's wearing he's not racing for BMW, but he's got a BMW jacket on, BMW pants on, and a BMW hat. Are you trying to tell me that you own a BMW?
Hell no.
What are you advertising?
And that's a good point. What are they advertising? Is it are they seeking a certain kind of attention, or is it that that's just how they like to dress?
And again, that goes to why.
Yeah.
We all choose.
Well,
how
why
we
would they
present
have to
ourselves.
explain that to anyone?
If once you step out the door, we're all open to whatever anyone wants to think.
on any given day, you can see me at the supermarket with probably about 7 to 10 colors on.
And you know, and
Because
that's your
I'm gonna
choice.
grab what I'm never gonna be out in pajamas, but you will probably see me with quite a few colors on because I'm gonna grab whatever is
Well,
available
Is it
at the store.
Is it about colors or is it about
No,
the
I'm just
particular
saying-
style of dress?
I think that particular style of dress, I think a lot of times the women are judged a certain way.
I mean, I think the mature self, non-judgmental self.
Right.
I'm not going to judge you because I've learned not to judge a book by its cover.
Exactly.
But realistically, we do judge.
We
Because
do,
if
yeah.
We always look at your first impression,
Mhm.
and if that's my first impression of you, that's what I'm gonna start with as
Right,
a basis
right.
until you show me otherwise.
Mhm.
Now, and it happens in the workplace. It happens. Remember, we're talking about first impressions, so
Mhm.
it is a tendency to judge somebody by the way that they look. Is it right? No, but that's the society we live in, and that's going to happen.
That's
so
true.
it's you could break the mold and change it, but you're fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah. I think, I've learned over the years that, because I think I've always been out of the box. So I always had my own style and I never really cared about what other people thought. But then in the same sense, in my younger day, maybe I might have been a bit judgmental, but you learn as you get older.
Yeah.
What I find for women, I think sometimes other women judge them probably harder than men.
Why do you think that? I mean, because you find that
Because I think it's those women's insecurities about how another woman is dressed. That's what I find it to be a lot of times.
Insecurities. Now that's
Their
interesting.
own insecurities.
See, that's interesting to me because the thing I'm looking at now, some of the stuff that I see that people are wearing, it's not for comfort.
It's not for what?
Comfort. Okay.
Yeah,
when
I'm
you was
gonna go with
standing
you on that.
and you have to keep pulling on your clothes because it keeps rising up.
Yeah.
You didn't put that on because I just had to run out the last minute and it was comfortable.
Now you're
You
right.
decided that today I want to present myself
Yeah.
this way when I
Right.
go out in public. This is I know what type of attention I'm going to garner.
Absolutely.
And I accept that. I'm looking for that.
Right.
So, just like if
Slutty, aisle 4. Slutty, aisle 4.
if Mr. Sticky Buns walked
Come
down the
out with
street,
his ass out.
down Charles Street with his ass out, I would think he might be looking for something.
Yeah.
No judgment. But
Yeah.
it's a case of, you decide that.
And I agree with that. I guess it probably depends on how, as you guys say, I'm not even going to use that term slutty. I'm going to say, because I think that's such an ugly term.
Hey, what they wear
I'm
is
going
ugly.
to say that they may have had their more attention-seeking outfit on. But
So who's the
That's a better way.
I'm not going to say that woman that's dressed like that. Other women are insecure with her comfortability in her outfit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Are they insecure or are they upset because that might change the way men look at them?
I think it's a two-way sword. The reason I say that, it was said that men don't settle with those type of superficial women. Because they are dressed that way doesn't make them superficial. I know some pretty intelligent, women that dress provocatively.
And, it's like there's levels to everything.
And I agree, but I think when people say stuff like that, it is a judgment. And I think it's a judgment maybe because you're not comfortable enough to dress a certain way, or perhaps it makes you feel some kind of way that this person is.
Now, okay. Now let me give this example. We're talking about judgment from somebody else's actions. Now, a couple
Wait
of
a
months
minute.
ago.
First of all, did he just readjust himself
Yeah, I readjust because I got
and
to
lean
look. I
back?
need to let you know. Okay. Now, several months ago, now I don't know if everybody remembers when Lil Wayne asked a question about Black Lives Matter, and he was
Yeah.
like, I ain't got nothing to do with that shit.
It ain't never happened to me.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Now, all the people that were upset about that, were they insecure, or they just didn't like the way that he was portraying people in the community, in the hip hop community?
I don't think that's an insecure reason for them to be upset. We are talking about dress,
We're talking
not
about
lives.
someone else's actions as they are viewed and
I
reflect
think people
upon
were
you.
probably disgraced
People
by
have-
his statement.
Right, now as a woman, okay, women have it hard. Women are judged, women are beat up, women are get less money than men. Women have it rough in society.
I
now
agree.
when a woman sees another woman that portrays themselves in a light that they don't think is respectful to them, is it insecure for them to be upset that, okay, maybe you're not portraying yourself the way that I want everybody to look at all of us as a whole? Because at that point, she's a liability for the other women around. Because now they're thinking, okay, if I make a judgment, if she's like that, you're like that, you're like that. I don't think it's insecurity. I think it's the fact that that woman's like, you know what? I don't like how you representing us.
I think in the context in which I heard it, it felt like it was judgment because
It is judgment.
yeah.
But
But
think
I
it's
think that I think some of it is, Mark. And I believe that when women do that, first of all, it doesn't matter what you men think. Women are women's worst critic.
True.
Yeah. And in that context, I felt like, the women that were considered vixens were not considered wholesome women. And I have an issue with that. Because in my relationship, I can be both.
I mean, what is the connotation of a vixen?
Exactly.
Is
and
that-
I think
is
that they
that-
may not have
that's the antithesis
understood
of wholesome.
what a vixen actually was.
So, we already
You know
labeled
what I'm
them
saying?
as victim, which is not wholesome by our
Vixen,
definition.
yeah, well,
Isn't that one of the reindeers?
here we go. Here we go.
That was,
I
yeah.
just think
He was like the
it
6 or
is.
7 one.
Vixen, Blitzen, yeah.
And,
But I
Rudolph
just
and them
think
ran all
that
through her.
as
All
women,
through
if you
With the red
disagree
nose.
with the way a person presents themselves, I think that we shouldn't pass judgment. I think because each individual is different. You understand?
Can I get Trump on y'all? I mean,
Go ahead.
no,
Did you have
no,
to?
No, I mean, political correctness
You're
aside.
fired.
Yeah, I know, right? Here's the thing. You're absolutely right. We shouldn't judge, but we will judge. Even though I like to consider myself a non-judgmental person. I'm gonna judge you until you prove me you show me different.
Yeah.
If I come up here, like if a woman comes up and dresses in a suit, I'm gonna think she's a intelligent, upstanding person, and then she starts twerking, then I'm gonna think otherwise, right?
I've
That's
seen
what
that
works.
too.
See,
Yeah.
And the reverse it. Let's say a woman comes up here, showing all her breast meat, and her lap thighs and all that stuff, and then she starts reciting Shakespeare and stuff like that. I was like, okay, she's kind of deep.
Right.
And that's just the way it is. We have to. If I don't know you, right, I'm gonna judge you by the way you look,
Right.
and we're gonna have a baseline until we prove otherwise.
Yeah.
Because I'm sensitive to that because I have the same conversation with my 21-year-old daughter. About sometimes the way she dressed. She has a particular body type that everybody can't. She can't wear anything
Right.
out there.
Yeah.
And she's right. It doesn't make you the person, but if you're going somewhere with me, we need to look a certain way. And then there's appropriateness when you're going out with
There's
your
the
friends.
key. Looking a certain way and being appropriate. As African Americans, as people, we already have a problem with stereotypes and negative images throughout society. Now, when you have that one person, be it female or male, that's throwing something that is less than positive, I think that it's not being it's nothing wrong with not agreeing with it. Okay, and there's nothing
not
wrong.
agreeing
That
and
doesn't
being
mean-
judgmental to me is different.
We shouldn't be
But
judgmental,
see, it's not-
but
but we're
it
not-
will happen.
You
We
don't
didn't
have
say
to
that they're
agree,
judgmental, but we're
but you're
saying
making
that-
a judgment call based on their outfit.
And again, if I see you in scrubs, if I see you in a suit, in court, I walked in the court with a suit. The guy stopped me. He's like, "Let me see your badge." I'm like, "What badge?" She's like, "You're a lawyer, aren't you?" I said, "No,"
Yeah.
because I had an expensive
A
suit
suit.
on. You feel what I'm
And you
saying?
couldn't, because you're black, you couldn't possibly be coming in there with a suit on unless you work there.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a case of you have that first second that you're going to decide where, like you said, where you're going to believe until somebody says different or proves you different.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you're insecure.
But I think a lot of times, because women bash women, you see it all the time. And that particular context, when you start talking about video vixens, they're not wholesome. A lot of them do that to work, to pay themselves through college or whatever else they're working towards. It doesn't make them a hoe because they're a vixen in a video.
You know, I agree with you, but that doesn't mean that that woman is insecure by not agreeing with it. Because at that point, we're always, for lack of a better word, we're judged by the bottom point, so to speak. You know what I'm saying, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
The most, now, I know everybody has looked at TV and wondered why the camera goes on the news to the one most ignorant person that can't speak. And you had a sense of embarrassment that was like, why in the world did they
I think
get
they look
them
for
on there?
them.
Because
They search for them.
They do search for
but
They
them.
search for the
actually
ones
don't.
that's taught
I asked
ignorant.
one of the guys, what's the dude, Joel, somebody used to be on Fox 45. I asked, like, why do you always find the most ignorant person to
Yeah.
speak? He said, you know what, nobody else wants to talk. The person that comes up that wants to speak about an incident,
That's sad.
that's
It's always
usually who comes up.
You mean the
Everybody else
ignorant,
doesn't wanna be on camera.
talking ones,
Well, they want to be. They want to be seen. They want to say what happened. You
and
know.
then the next thing you know, tomorrow, they done turned into a music video.
Right?
But
But you cannot say that you have not felt a level of embarrassment at some point when you see somebody doing something ignorant on TV and think, oh Lord, he just said
Well,
it back to me.
I'm
That
not
doesn't
gonna
make me
say I'm
insecure.
not
It doesn't
embarrassed
make me
because
feel
they
bad.
don't represent me.
Yeah,
It don't
that's a
make me feel
situation
bad.
where
Yeah.
They look ignorant and they act ignorant. We're talking about people who look a certain way but may not be that way.
You don't know
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
but
They don't represent me because they are on TV and they are ignorant. They, or whatever the case may be, where we might be judged. They don't represent me.
they don't represent you personally. But in the eyes of society, that's you.
But society judges me anyway on the color of my skin. It doesn't matter how I speak or how I dress. I'm first judged by the color of my skin.
Until you show them.
Exactly.
But again,
So it doesn't matter what I have on. The color of my skin is the basis of judgment right off the bat.
Right. So why would we, further amplify that? You know what I mean? It's like I would expect, and like you said, women are their own worst enemies. But
Adjusted higher.
there is a point where I would expect women to say, "Let me talk to you, baby." That might not be.
I
what
would
you
much
wanted to.
rather that than to say that somebody dresses this way and they're not wholesome, and that men only look at those or shower them with gifts because of how they're dressed. That's judgment.
It's everything in
That
the world.
what that said
has
to
a
me
judgment. That's
was
something.
like, okay, because they have a certain body, that's why men are interested. Everybody has their own type. Some men might like that type. It doesn't make them less because they like a particular type.
And again, I'm not talking about being less or more. It's just that the person viewing it is not necessarily insecure.
I hear you, but that's not what I heard.
So you think that the ladies were insecure?
I'm gonna say
Okay,
that.
I see where you're going. Because
Yeah.
It might have been a situation where they see that person, they're insecure because they feel threatened because maybe they wanted to be the center, or they wanted that attention that this person is getting right off the bat.
But they have the opportunity to they could put the same thing on if they wanted to.
That's the whole point.
No, they
That's the absolutely you
It
can
might
do
not look the
that.
same, but
You know, you can
have
do
the right
that.
to do whatever you want
That
to.
is my point. You know, it doesn't make them less. Perhaps maybe somebody. What's going on with you? I got excited. My whole thing is everybody has a right to do as they please.
Exactly.
But then
That's
maybe they want that same kind of attention, but they like I
they
said,
are afraid.
it's a uphill battle. I mean, I could come in here, let's say I could go on a job interview dressed down, but I'm fighting an uphill battle. You know,
Right,
to prove
right.
to prove your initial perception.
Right.
So it's like maybe these ladies are doing it the classy way.
They are
And then
classy.
they see this person, you know, not coming in at the same rung of the ladder that they are, getting that same kind of attention, but doing less with less to offer.
Right. I
You know,
kind
so
of
maybe it's
was
that.
thinking that, you know, on that line when they were talking in context of men looking at this type of women, but then men don't normally settle. I think it depends on the guy and what his taste is and the kind of woman. That's the bottom line.
You know,
I've been there. I've been like in the clubs. You in the clubs, and I'm all nice and tight, and I'm groomed right and everything, and I'm looking my way. You know, I ain't getting no attention, but let a Rasta man come in here. You know, with hair and stuff like that, and look a certain way, and tattoos.
Not a
You know
mercy.
what I mean? That's all a mercy. You know, I'm just saying. You know.
Well,
But
you can
see,
speak the talk. You
yeah,
can talk
grow
the
your hair
talk.
if you
So
want. You can put a wig
Right.
on if
you
you
put a
chose.
wig on.
If
What
you chose.
way you talk about?
Yeah.
Why not?
But I'm just saying, you're gonna be judged. If you don't know me, you're gonna judge me by the way I look until I have an opportunity to either confirm that or dispute that.
Yeah. If I see a guy, you know, outside with the shirt off, maybe some sweatpants or whatever,
Gray sweatpants.
Oh,
you know, I look at him. You know, I'm just don't fucking judge me. I'm just saying, you
will be
know.
judged.
But I might be excited for a couple of seconds. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to.
But you gotta ask great
Because you thought
sweatpants.
he was a sexual
Look,
object.
here it is. He come up there, he got the look, he caught your attention.
He caught my attention for a
whatever you
couple
like,
seconds.
Whatever you like for in a man, he got it, right? And then he opened his mouth talking about,
Dive through there.
Then he killed the fantasy. Then he's just killed the fantasy.
You still like him now?
exactly.
He's just killed the fantasy
But you
for me,
created
you know?
that fantasy off of his look.
Off of his
Yeah, off
look.
of
So you judged that
But
man.
no, I created the fantasy. I didn't make judgment. I created a fantasy.
Oh, and you know, your
Judge,
fantasy
that's a
was big.
judgment.
That's
That
not
makes
a
no
judgment because
sense
I
to
just
me.
looked at his body
And you
and was
expected
hot for a
What
second.
did you
judged
expect?
it
What
to
about
be-
I didn't expect anything but his hot body.
What about if he opened? What about he got a nice
Oh,
body, he
so
looking
You see-
good,
you see-
and all of a sudden he
what is she
smiled,
talking about?
She copped
and
She
his mouth looked like
No, let
his,
me go back
his
to
mouth
that
looked like
statement.
he been
Let me go
towing
back to
cars.
they saying some shit.
She pumping out.
I
She
did
pumping
punk
out.
out.
Yeah,
I did
yeah,
punk
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
My
Now
initial,
we
I
judging.
didn't make a judgment. I
Physician
looked at his
healed
body
thyself.
and got hot for a couple of seconds. Let's say that.
Off
Because
a
you
great
judged him.
sweatband?
No,
No,
I'm just
his
saying.
shirt was off. God dang it.
But you
You
could do
expected-
that. But
you
the man
expected-
can't look at that woman and
You
that.
looked at him and expected some
Vixen outfit.
intelligence.
I didn't say that because I don't have a problem with that. I think that a woman, if she feels sexy, she should dress sexy. I think that, to me, I feel like other women have a problem with that. That's what I'm saying.
I understand why other women have problems.
I still don't, but
Because I'm telling you,
For various reasons.
I'm an advocate for women.
Mhm.
And you know, women, like I said, women have it hard. Women are getting assaulted, women are attacked, women raped. And you see, when you have this person out there riling up these guys, they're thinking about, she's making me, put me in a position that I don't want to be in.
but what I find, I think when a
She's messing it
woman
up for the
is
rest of the system.
sexually assaulted,
She's making us
it
all
doesn't
sexual
matter what
objects.
she has on
Yeah, but
when she's assaulted sexually.
Yeah,
It
women
has
got-
nothing to do with their attire.
women got it tough because they could walk downtown and on a daily basis, you know, they
And
can
be
get,
fully dressed
they can
and
get-
still.
they can get cat calls,
Yeah.
wolf calls and all that stuff, and And like I said, you had how many women? There was like a few women there.
Yeah.
I think the reasons for them to react the same way or to judge the same way might be different amongst their own. Based on
I think it's based on age
We'll say
group.
wolf calls.
Yeah, I think it's based on
What was it,
age
cat
group.
call?
I think that when you get older, you start to see things
I get
different than maybe you would in your 20-something. You know what I'm saying? I think for us older ones, we had a different viewpoint.
Do you get them?
What?
Wolf calls, cat calls.
Hey, light skin.
That
What
is
up,
so
Ma?
annoying. I get the
Yeah,
what
that's
up,
it.
Ma. I get
What
the
up,
what
Ma?
up, Ma, and I act like I don't hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think somebody,
Walk to get
somebody,
rid
of
and I
it.
was
Did she hear that?
surprised. No, I was
Switch
surprised
it a
that
little
people
bit
still
stronger.
did this. Some guy a couple of weeks ago was like, psst, psst. I was like,
Did you
people
spring
still
the
do
leak?
that?
You spring the leak?
Do what?
Because that was like a back in the day thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then they follow up. You don't hear me pissing?
I would hope not.
Damn.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
You get all of the calls. But see, I know Jackie. See, Jackie hears some. You know, she walk down the street.
I act like I don't hear it.
She gonna turn around and smile.
Look. That's when the calves start coming out the back of the leg. She really starts.
Yeah, I really put that catwalk on.
I see your outfit.
Get on my nerves.
A lot of times I try to
I know
act
he
like
talking about me.
I don't hear it a lot of times.
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, you hear it.
You
I
hear it.
hear
You
it,
hear it.
But what I'm saying is I don't acknowledge it.
Right, because
Listen. Hold on.
Right,
Not
and-
acknowledging it to them,
That's
but
not
in your
fair.
mind you're acknowledging
Because
it.
here's the thing, what I realized, I am a very friendly person. And it would just take me having a general conversation and somebody thinking that I'm interested. I had a situation maybe 20 years ago, and I used to speak to this guy every morning. And he told his girlfriend, oh yeah, she be coming on to me hard. What I found out was that he was a convicted rapist. So probably in his mind, me speaking to him, I was coming on to him. So I'm kind of like careful about having a whole lot of conversation with guys outside because I'm friendly and I don't want it to be where, oh, she's interested.
And that's a
Because I'm
shame.
not.
It's a shame. It's a shame that you have to put up with, being objectified, and it's a shame that you have to, as women, you have to go through that, and that's all the more reason that, you have it's a delicate walk that y'all have to walk when it comes to being your appearance and being judged, because you're fighting a hard battle, which a battle you shouldn't fight, but that's a reality, and unless you're prepared to fight that and to dress however you want to dress and prove people wrong, to slowly, it's on you. But
I think we're fighting not just that battle, we're fighting each other among women.
Absolutely.
We're fighting our men because a lot of times our men are not there to stand up for us and they're victimizing us. So we're fighting all the way around. I hear what you're saying, Mark, but women are women's worst critic. And then we get the bullshit from the men too. So men are not standing up for us.
No. Hold on. Let me correct
Come
you
on,
there.
bro.
Let me correct you there.
Huh?
Let me correct you there.
As a whole. No, you can't correct me on
Let me
that
correct you
because
there
I'm saying
because
as a whole.
no, hold on, because we as men, we have tried. I'm gonna say some. We have tried to stand up for you all, but the first thing the minute that you all started making your own money, y'all felt like y'all didn't need men. So the door opening, y'all, I don't need you to open no door for me. I can do that myself.
Hello.
I don't need you to do this for me. I can do that myself. So when all of these songs came out to pump y'all women up, the INDEPEE, whatever, I know how to spell it, but I'm just trying to hurry up and get it the fuck out. But the thing about it is, these were songs, that was pumping women up. They brought out songs to pump women up, so women felt like they didn't need men.
Don't want no scrubs.
They didn't need men. Don't want no scrubs. Independent women and all the ladies you know, Beyonce got y'all talking about
Single lady.
she put a ring on it and all that crazy stuff or whatever. And I'm not saying it's crazy. I'm not saying that y'all shouldn't have, you know, get a man to put a ring on it. But and some of y'all women don't want a man to defend y'all. But when y'all get into a situation where y'all need a man, now all of a sudden y'all looking around saying, well, where were you at? Where were you at? It ain't that.
Have rejected chivalry, and that's the problem.
There we go.
I can't walk down the street and be like, how you doing today? And now all of a sudden I'm trying to get some ass off you because I spoke to you. I can't open the door for you. All of a sudden I'm trying to come at you. Oh, you gonna have a conversation. I'm not that dude standing in front of 7-Eleven, open the door looking for change.
You might not be
my
that
conversation,
dude,
my hello is a gift to you.
Right, I get
you know
that. You might not be that dude, but then there are 3 or 4 others that are that dude, and we a lot of times don't know the difference. I'm with you when you say chivalry is dead, because so many women got the high-paying jobs, starting to feel like I don't need a man. I'm always going to need a man. That's just me. I'm comfortable enough in my womanhood to allow a man to open the door for me, to pick up the goddamn check. You know, I'm not that woman where I don't need a man. A lot of times women say that because they've been hurt multiple times by men, you know, because they've had to carry the load without a man. So when they meet a man, it's hard for them to fall back, throw their hands up in the air, and let the man be the man.
And you know what? There are many men who have been cheated on by women, lied to by women, tricked by women. Give us an excuse to lose our self-respect and our respect for you because of the mess-ups that somebody else did.
Well, how much respect is there for women when every other hip-hop song is bitch this, hold that?
And who's buying it and shaking their ass to it in the club?
My point is...
Y'all supporting that.
Here's my point. As I said, women have to fight women and women have to fight men. That's the bottom line.
But then that's the same for us. We have to fight women and then we got to fight men.
How so? Because if we're going to talk about this, let's get it. You know, women, you said women have been cheating. Women weren't known for cheating.
Oh, Lord, that's a sweeping generalization.
Hold up.
If there's a book for every person cheating, there's another person right there.
Have always been known as cheaters.
In your mind.
Men have always been known as cheaters. I'm not going to say all men, but a lot of times the infidelity in marriages were because of the men. And do you know why? Because a man's going to do what a man's going to do.
You know,
I thought you didn't like that saying.
I don't.
I completely reject that.
That was the consensus back then.
Who was that person
and I
he cheating with?
agree.
That person he cheating with probably has a boyfriend or a husband as well.
Not
you cannot
all the
sit
time.
there.
Not all
just
the time.
as often. You cannot skew cheating to one sex or the other. It takes
not
two
nowadays, because I think that it's kind of equal.
Well, we're
at
living
this
nowadays.
Point. Yeah.
Let's talk about
but what
nowadays.
I'm saying is that over the years, men have always been the #1 cheaters. I'll say now, you know, the scale is probably level.
No, it's because you
at
know
this
what?
time,
It's socially
because women
acceptable
got
for
tired
y'all to
of
assert your
accepting
sexuality
it. That's
at this
why.
point. Where
Now
women
we're
accept
comfortable in our sexuality, and we feel like if you can go out there and do it, we can too.
So you've been doing it the whole time, but now we've made it socially acceptable for y'all to go out there and do your thing. See, that's what it was. Y'all just didn't because y'all hide it
just
better
put your
than
hands
men
up
do.
on this one.
I don't think it's that level. I still think, I mean,
that men,
y'all my boys, but I still think 20% of the dudes out there dealing with 80% of the women.
Exactly. I mean, and to sit there and act like it's still not prevalent, the percentage is going to be higher.
Women get theirs in.
Yeah, they get theirs in. But the thing is, women only cheat a lot of times once they've been hurt. Once they've been hurt by that man they put their all into, they're not going to look at another dude the same. And that too.
There's more women out there.
But you know what?
In our community, what is it, 7-1 now?
Yeah.
But see, there's the problem of responsibility and accountability that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I've been hurt, so I'm going to go ahead and hurt the next person.
It doesn't make it right, but they never got over that, is my point.
Then stay out the game.
Wow.
Don't poison someone else. Keep your toxic ass to yourself.
Have you never cheated in a relationship?
Say it again, Mark.
Never.
I've told the lie, but I haven't.
Nah, he was
I can
honest.
respect that.
Nah, I'm gonna respect that one too.
Yeah, I can respect that. And you?
Well. What? What was the question?
Have you ever cheated? In a
Have I ever
relationship?
cheated?
Is
See
there
how
echo?
she personalizes this out.
I'm not okay. Let me
Now I
let me
have to
take that
defend
off
myself.
the table. No, let me take that off the table. Have you known of anyone, that have cheated in a relationship? Let me
I
say
do.
that.
I've known one.
Yeah.
I've known one
Now you
who I
made it
know who's
about
cheated.
the opposite sex. I'm saying in general.
I've known who's cheated. Can I honestly say that I'm in a relationship that I've cheated? I can't say that I cheated, but when I had an increment, because here's the thing, I'm not going. Yeah, you're right. I said it. If I got an increment that you're cheating, am I saying it right? Increment? Am I saying
Inkling.
Inkling. If I get an inkling that you're cheating, first of all, before I cheat, I want to make sure you cheating.
So you got
Can I ask a question?
cheating.
Why not just get out the relationship before you do tit for tat?
No,
That's petty.
no, it ain't no tick for tat.
It's-
You know
it's
why?
definitely
Because
tit for tat.
sometimes you gotta let a motherfucker dig their own hole.
That's petty.
Because you know why? Don't call me petty.
I'm
You've
petty,
been known to be
but
petty.
I'm not a tit for tat.
Sometimes,
in a
no.
sense like that.
No, see, here's the thing. When you're in a relationship, the other person who cheats or getting ready to cheat, they think you dumb. Because they think that they can do it better. They think that they can do it better. Or whatever. And they think that you dumb.
Classic.
They think that you don't know what they doing. But don't you know that when you start to change your pattern, we know what the fuck is going on. So
You done
what
got
you
real
do?
excited about
So
that.
I don't. So let's define cheating. Is cheating having sex?
In my book.
Emotional.
Emotional cheat. Okay.
Having sex, emotional, all of that.
So I'm an emotional cheater.
I think there's a
I
lot of
have
people
cheated
that-
emotionally.
Yeah, I think so.
And you know what? I think, see, now I'm going to get,
But
I'm
that's
gonna
the
get
hardest
sexist now.
thing to
I'm going to get
break.
sexist now because I think that a lot of women emotionally cheat because
That's not true,
they've
Nicole.
come up with the concept of work husbands and whatnot.
I've never done that dumb shit.
I've heard that shit, man. Oh, that's my work
That's
husband.
not true.
I think that's a cop out.
That's right. And that's
I
their way
will
of
never
flirting. That's their
say
way of flirting.
this is my
Y'all
work
women
husband
change y'all patterns,
because
too.
I think that's very misleading to the other party. You know, you're given the energy that says it could possibly be something.
That's
because
legitimizing
you're caught.
emotional
Yeah.
cheating.
Exactly, and I disagree with that. I've
Women
never
do it
said
all the
this
time
is
and
my
think
work
it's cute.
husband because that opens the door up for cheating.
I don't understand. I don't
Women
see.
do this a better-
I don't see
do
why
this
people
better.
do that. That
Yeah.
right there.
The
Why?
cheating.
Because they're more
Yeah, y'all do it. Y'all do it. Well.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're very careful.
Yeah, y'all
you
do
know,
it. Y'all
when
do
it's
it way better than
yeah.
us. I mean, y'all go to a trip to Jamaica with the girls. You know.
Well, I didn't cheat because I didn't come, so it didn't count. It
Well,
wasn't
they
good,
said what
so I didn't
what
count.
happens over there stays over there.
With Jamaica.
Yeah,
So-
but you brought the damn herpes back here. So
Well, that was your fault because you ain't let him. You let him hit.
Not
hard.
yet. Not
Well,
yet.
back to you and that what you were talking about. I think that if you know that somebody's cheating, I think to me, to say, okay, let me confirm this, so that way it justifies me going out there and cheating.
No, I'm
To
not.
me,
I'm
I
not
feel
gonna
like
say that I'm going out there to
it's
do
just-
that though.
Let's
Queen.
just in the
I'm not saying that.
relationship.
I'm not saying that I'm going to
Did
go
I
out and do that.
Did I
But
misunderstand?
no, what I'm saying is, if I find out that you're cheating, and I know for sure that you're doing that, then I'm gonna let you have the chance to come and tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm looking at you sideways or looking at you a certain way, and you ask me what's wrong with you, I may say nothing at all.
Okay.
Nothing at all. Because unless you just don't care about that person, I don't know nobody who really cares about somebody and they cheat and don't have a conscience. Like they're around that person and they feeling like, what the fuck did I do? Why did I do that? Was it even worth it? You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
sure they probably asked.
Why
was
is it even worth it?
it?
Especially if y'all was in an argument
Yeah.
and you went and did it out of anger,
I know people.
and then that person turn around and they come and they reconcile and they apologize, and they say that they seen your side and they want to say they're sorry, but you done already went out there and did the deed. So now it's like that conscious deal with you. If you're a person who really cares about something, that eats you up.
But you know
So
what? I
it
think
It
a lot
comes
of
to you in
people,
your dream
when
and every
they go
damn
ahead and
thing.
start that shit, they don't have a conscience at that point. Because
Nope.
they can justify in their mind, well, we weren't together at that time. Well,
Yeah.
I don't think. So I'm like,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry,
You're
but
right.
I know women that can do that without a blink in the eye.
But that means they never cared about the man in the first place.
Exactly.
I'm gonna disagree with that.
They can care about it.
Yeah.
If you care about
I
that
think
person,
that
then you
sometimes it can
respect
be.
them.
A lot of
enough to tell
times,
them.
women we are emotional. So if we're not getting that at home, we're gonna probably emotionally cheat before we go physical. You know, I think that what men don't understand when we keep talking and telling you certain things and it falls on deaf ears.
It's time to go.
It's time to go. I agree with you. But it could be they've connected mentally with someone, but they haven't taken it to that physical level. And a lot of times that's what happens. We mentally connect.
You might as well do it.
You know, because I'm gonna tell you
Well,
something.
that's a strong connection to break. I will definitely give you that. That's a very strong connection to break. But she wouldn't have done that if she hadn't been disconnected from.
But if she
the
was
male.
a
But
woman
however you
of
get
substance and virtue, she would not go out fishing while she's in a relationship.
There's different reasons why
It's
you
different,
want to get
yeah.
there. But I mean, I've known some female friends who tell me that they fantasize about someone else while they're with their husband or something because she already checked out, and like you said, emotionally.
Yeah.
And how they get there, there's going to be different reasons, whether it's resentment, whether it's incompatibility, but you're there, and once they're there, sometimes the feeling or the act clouds the fact that it's wrong.
Yeah.
See,
I
once
could never
you're there-
understand why
Well,
women
I
do that.
fantasize about Idris Elba, from time to time in the middle of sex, but
Idris
But isn't that cheating?
is it? I'm
Yes,
never
it
gonna
is.
meet
It's
him.
emotional.
So
But that's
That doesn't matter.
that's cheating.
emotionally cheating.
that's I'm not
cheating.
emotionally connected to him.
Your
But you're
emotions are
emotionally
thinking about-
cheating.
I'm turned on.
If you're having
by
sex
him.
while you're thinking
No.
of another man,
If you
are
exactly.
emotionally
Let me tell you like this.
I am
If,
not
worst form.
emotionally
if I'm
cheating.
thinking
That
about
That is a
there are
fantasy.
women
That is
there are
denial.
women
That is
in
a
order for them
fantasy.
there are women that when they want to get off and they can't get off with their partner, they either think about someone who they used to have sex with that took them there, and then they immediately get off, or they do what you do, think about Mr. Alba, whatever the fuck his name is.
But let that man call you another name while you're doing it.
No, that, and
Oh,
I
now-
think that's
oh,
one of the
I
things we
mean-
talk about because Pearl's fantasy is Tony Braxton. So we've had this conversation.
Yeah, but we ain't
so
say-
it's not
ain't
like
nobody think
this
about
is
it
a
no more.
conversation that we've never had. I think if I've never had that, yes, I'm cheating. But we've had this conversation. He is a big Tony Braxton fan.
Let me ask you a question.
So-
Would you say that it is not cheating because you would never be with him
Yeah. I don't
today
I
or
like
tomorrow?
I used to see that man jogging up and down like Raven Boulevard back when they were doing the wire and whatnot. You could have very easily run to that.
that. I never saw him. I always saw the lieutenant, the bald guy.
I've
Bald
seen
guy.
him.
Today or tomorrow, if you could, would you have sex with him?
I'm not interested in him like that. It is a fantasy.
That was not the question.
There is a
That
difference.
That was a
exactly.
yes or no
What did she
question.
just? Did she
Absolutely
two-step around
not.
that?
I didn't have to step around that. I said I fantasize. It doesn't mean that I want to sleep with him. Just like
Well, why
Harold
fantasize? That's a waste of
fantasizes
fantasy.
Yeah, I don't get
about.
it.
That's how
I
a
don't
man
get it.
would think. Just like Harold fantasizes about Tony Braxton.
So
A man fantasizes about a woman a celebrity because that's who they would want to be with if the time
I
came.
think that it depends on the man.
What the time came?
Yeah, I
I don't
think that
know how I
this.
feel about that.
Huh?
Who you fantasize about?
Good question.
Come on, man. Come on.
Let them
We
think
are.
on it. Don't put them under pressure. Let
No,
them think
because
on
I think I had this conversation. I had this conversation with my wife before, and it's been a while since we had this conversation. But I really felt, and I think the conversation went like, if Halle Berry was sitting next to you, I would choose you. You know what I mean? So I was
Yeah.
on that kind of thing.
Right, but you all could have
That
a
was the
conversation
right
about
answer.
it. It's
Yeah,
not
that's
like
the right
either
answer. No, I
one
really
of
felt
us,
that way. I
yeah,
really felt-
but
But the thing about it
You ain't
is,
sat next to him. Smell
what?
crazy.
I think it's not like us, yeah.
Like you said,
Talk about
you
make
know,
me a woman.
Halle Berry looked good and everything, but when you get to
You
know
know
her,
what
she
you
probably crazy.
have,
But you're not
yeah,
gonna get to know her.
exactly. And
It's just a
the
hit. That's
thing
what the
is,
question is.
the fact that you all can have a conversation about it. I mean, like we always joke and say, you know, like her, let's say, oh yeah, he said that's Tony Braxton, and we'll laugh about it. But at the end of the day, we know what we have in one another. I think the fact that we can talk about it says a lot.
That's a very mature one.
And I have to agree. Everything that look good ain't good.
Damn right.
Everything that look good ain't good. Cause I'm gonna be honest with you. I used to fantasize about Robin Givens.
Oh Lord Jesus.
I used to fantasize about Robin Givens until all of that shit went down between her
But see,
and
you
Mike.
know what? That's touching the.
After that, I was like, no.
You
Crazy.
I'll give you an example. Woman says, I fantasize being with another woman.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't consider that cheating because it's a woman.
That's hot.
And do you all see that as cheating?
No, we do not.
Two women together
See?
is natural.
That is hot.
The biggest bunch of bullshit I have ever heard. Don't even high five on that young
But
shit.
you know what?
Let's get that high five on video.
You gonna
I'm
disagree
gonna
with them
disagree
on
with y'all
that?
because you know that's all fine and good.
Until they
Until
fall in love with one
She
another.
stopped right. She stopped humping you and starts messing with her girlfriend.
Goddamn right, because that's
She's like,
a lot of times what's going to happen.
I gotta work late tonight, and all of a sudden you ain't getting no more sex.
And she getting her kitty licked by your lawn.
Exactly.
Well, I
You're on
And
your
you
way
ain't got
upset.
nothing to do with
can
it.
do everything she can do.
Apparently not.
Apparently not.
I just can't make my voice out.
And wait a minute. And your lawn that's strap on don't go limp.
down.
That's all I
Said
know.
that, you know?
But guess what? One melts and the other one don't.
Talking about messing up my fantasy.
One melts and the other one don't. One gonna need batteries, the other one won't.
Do all strap-ons have batteries? I don't think so.
Well, some. But
One
they are
versus for
women.
like
Hold on, but
14
let's
hours
be honest.
Exactly. So
What you say?
One will go for like 14 hours straight.
exactly. So what are
And
you
one
saying?
won't. So
That's
one got an extra end on it that hit both spots at the same time. It turns like this.
That's like offshore drilling.
Exactly. Like, bro, you
I'ma
don't
have
even
to-
want to fight that battle.
I'm gonna have to decline my answer
Yeah.
on that one.
Don't fight that one.
I can't fight
Stay in
that
your
one.
lane. Stay in your
I'm
lane.
gonna have to get you some
But I
jumper
think
cables.
that's a
Yeah.
great
Oh,
point.
man.
Oh,
Get you some
God.
jumper cables for Christmas. Pull.
That shit
See if
did.
I got any
That shit
comments.
did right there.
Hi, Randy. Hi, Kathy.
That's
Here.
clear.
Alright, you done?
I'm just saying, y'all want me
Like,
talking
can I get it?
stuff.
No, I'm good.
Nah.
'Cause the thing
Hey,
about it,
Sean.
we don't
Hi,
have nothing.
Bryant.
We don't have nothing to compare to that.
Okay, Letitia
No,
says
there ain't-
it depends on how naked they are. Laugh out loud, because I've seen some shit. True, they judge you by first impression on interviews. Okay, people do the same on the street. Sean says some people feel like they need to resort to other people in order to get closure or to get advice for their relationship issues, rather it be friends or family members. However, some people don't know. Don't know by sharing and allowing folk to depict your relationship. You are now opening the door for people to destroy your relationship completely. Absolutely. I think that's in response to your topic. So let's get into your topic because we done got all I just had some shit on my mind, so let's go from Sean comment and talk
That
about
must
that.
was what you was trying to say. I'll talk to you later.
Uh,
Well, you said I'll talk to you later about it.
no,
Oh,
but I think that that's a good topic for the simple fact that people always want to give you advice on your relationship. I tend to look at the people offering advice and how successful they've been in a relationship.
well, let me ask you a question. Is all, what's the word I'm using? Is all advice from family good?
Hell
Now
no.
we talking about family.
Hell no.
We talking about family now.
Mm-mm.
Because, you know, I mean, well, see, just what you just said. See, there's certain people who I let, there's a lot of family who I may listen to, but there's certain family who I go by what you just said, their guidelines of how they living. Then I know if what they saying to me is gonna make some sense.
Mm-hmm.
But if I already know how your relationship is, you can't tell me about mine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't.
Now, I'm not going to say that I won't listen. I think that perhaps if they're giving you advice based on where they messed up at in their relationship, I can entertain that, you know. But some people want to give you advice, oh, girl, I wouldn't put up with that, and I wouldn't put up with this. And then you look at them, and they've never been in a great relationship. And I'm looking like, well, who the hell are you? You can't even maintain
But what
a
can they tell you that
relationship.
you don't already know?
Exactly.
I mean, really.
Exactly.
Well,
That's
just
what I'm
trying to-
talking
Well,
about.
do you know? Do you
Well,
know?
They have experience.
Do you know?
I
In
mean, what are
family
they going to tell
and
me? I mean,
relationship.
unless
But you
they
know
try,
what, I'ma
unless
tell
I
you.
need their assistance to drive
Some
my agenda.
people's failures can be the best education you can ever get.
Well, but that's what I was saying. If they failed and they learned something from their failure and they want to share that advice with you, that's different. But for somebody that, because of their own issues, are not really cannot maintain a healthy relationship, I'm not going to listen to them. Because I know a lot of times that the issue is their own bullshit is the reason why their relationships fail. So if they say, oh, he didn't do this for you, girl, I wouldn't take that. Say what?
Now,
Why am I going to listen?
now is
But
I'm
see,
trying.
why do women like to listen to that stuff from their friends?
And that's the thing.
Instead
That's
of that,
I've
yeah,
never done that
It's probably to
because
justify what they want to do in the first place.
I think you're right. I think
Much.
most of the time that's what it is, to justify what they want to do. I think that's always a no-no. And then I think a lot of times women don't understand that some of their girlfriends are envious of the relationships that they have. So they may advise them wrong. You know, I find that to be in a lot of cases too.
How do you cipher? How do you cipher when someone gives you advice to know if they give you advice out of anger
Mm-hmm.
or they give you advice to help you?
I
Because
think it depends
if-
on the advice.
Right, because if you're going through something that I'm going through now, I guess it's the way you bring it to me. If I'm gonna know, because you know sometimes a situation you bring it out as far as your emotions. So if I'm being cheated on, and you've been cheated on, are you giving me advice to help me, or are you giving me advice because of your past?
But let's assume that he's your boy and he got all your best interests at heart, and he's doing it to help you with all the good intentions, right? Either way, he always going to give advice, or they're going to talk about, from his experiences. Now, the best thing to do, I mean, what I've learned to do, I don't tell you what you should do. I tell you what your options are, because you have to live with your choices. I'm not living with your choices.
Right,
If you're
right.
smart, those are the kind of people that you're going to take advice from. The people that kind of say, okay, from my perspective, you could either do this, go with that other girl, and then you might risk this, this, and this, or you could stay at home and try to work on it. Either way, it's your choice. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say go here or go there or do this or do that,
Right.
or be adamant, because those are the ones you have to worry about. Those people that's more passionate about you doing something, you know, in your life than you are.
That's because they're trying to get a second chance of where they messed up.
Could be,
Yeah,
whatever the reasons are, but those are
yeah.
the. But either way, you gotta live with that your choice, and you gotta fight that battle.
Right.
You know, you gotta. You know, there's people that come to me and came to me, and there's one particular female, one of my coworkers, and she caught her husband. You know, well, her husband was cheating, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, she was and she was like, well, you know, everyone always tells me what to do and what I shouldn't do, but she decided to stick in, and go back and work on her marriage.
Right.
You know, and that's what she decided to do.
Is this
And I was like,
was this the first time?
I don't know. It probably was. You know, I mean, needless to say, they're not together anymore. You know, because it only prolonged their level, but it was her choice. You see what I'm saying? And I was like, you know what? And she was so worried about being judged.
Yeah, because
You know,
oftentimes
and I was
people
like,
will
no.
say that, especially women. Oh, he cheated on you. I wouldn't go back to him.
Right.
You know, but at the end of the day, this is a choice that this
Right.
person
If
has
you
to
wanna
make,
go back and work it
she
out,
has to walk
right.
that path.
Right.
You know
and,
what I'm saying?
And anything that I'm gonna say to you is to help you to be happy.
Exactly.
And if you feel as though you're gonna be happy staying in that relationship, I'm gonna try to make things, you know, unless it's a dangerous situation, you know. But if you choose to go ahead and work on that and pray on it and do whatever, you know, I'm gonna support you.
But you
Right.
know what? But sometimes, Quiet Storm, that, like you said, you give advice to help me.
Right.
Queen says there's some people that's in your life.
Yeah.
They're not gonna come out and tell you, but they don't want to see you happy.
Right.
So they're gonna give you advice for you not to be happy.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
But you got to be strong enough to discern who's in your corner and who's not. Let's
That's
say,
it.
You know, you know people who got bad minds.
But that's not always true. Now let me ask you this question. Just a thought out there. And you can just say you can give the answer. Or you don't have to give the answer. But how old are you?
46.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I was old.
Oh, yeah. Probably about 49. Okay, well 46. That's a good age. Okay. So in 46 years, you mean to tell me that every friend in your I'm gonna say circle. We like to say circle all the time. Every friend in your circle, you mean to tell me the one that you thought had your best interest at heart, you found out later on down the line, right? That person really didn't have your interest at heart.
Right.
But there was a cover up where it's like they shown you, I got your back. I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? May gave you a couple of, you know, strong point ideas, but at the same token, in their head was really hating on you. Can you say right now that there's friends in your circle right now that's hating on you, maybe because you got a house, that you got a wife, kids? There's some people right now that's hating on you like myself because you can beat that steel drum.
There are people in my circle, right? I would say there are people in my circle, but they're not friends. You know what I mean? Not anybody.
What we call those associates, right?
Right. Because my circle, my trusting circle, my circle of trust is really small.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we could probably count on one hand.
Right.
And these are people that have been with me forever. But there's people I associate with so many different people in so different circles. So I can't say friends. You know what I'm saying? I believe that all my genuine friends got my best interest at heart. I mean, and I could be wrong, but until they show me otherwise,
yeah.
you know, I'm gonna look at them with a discerning eye and say, okay. And I wouldn't even be mad at it because, again, the way a lot of times that feeling of hate and resentment and stuff like that, they probably don't know. You know what I mean? And they probably don't know themselves. And it's unfortunate. You pray for them and stuff like that, but you keep it moving. I can't worry about that. You know what I mean? luckily I have enough people, genuine people in my life that I can turn to and have that support.
Okay, well, let me ask this question. So let's say, God forbid, you and your wife have problems. Is there one friend, not two, not three, is there one friend right now that you can go to that can give you advice on your marriage and you will listen because you know that they have your best interest at heart?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I do.
That's good.
But again, he can give me advice, but I'm wise enough to know that it's my decision. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's
I'm not going to him for advice for confirmation to do something I already want to do, or to say, yeah, I want to do this. What do you think I should do? No, I mean,
but if you already got it made up in your mind, you shouldn't even have you shouldn't be asking him.
Yeah.
No, it's just to hear that sounding board. You already have, you kind of have an idea.
I'm still going to make my decision.
Exactly, but you just want to hear another point of view. You know what I'm saying?
I know people that, I know females, go to other females. I've seen a situation where what do you think I should do? What do you think? It's a constant thing, but it's more so a situation where they're trying to get assurance of something that they want to do in the first place. Well, what do you think I should do? I'm like, isn't it obvious what you should do?
So
I
basically,
never go to females for advice. I'm going to be honest. When I need advice, it's usually my brother and my older cousin. It's rare that I will go to females for advice.
I got a friend.
You'll hit brothers. I know you. You'll hit brothers first.
Yeah, definitely.
You'll hit brothers first before you hit a female. Yeah. What about you, Mr. Sensation?
I don't solicit advice.
Huh?
You don't solicit advice? Yeah.
You mean you don't give advice?
People ask for advice, but I won't go to somebody for advice. Take it to God, figure it out.
Yeah.
Make your own decision and roll with it.
What do you go to somebody for advice?
No.
You don't have a friend that you talk to?
There are friends that, we talk about things, but if it was something going on, I wouldn't ask for advice.
Yeah.
So you rather figure it out on your own?
There's two people, and I'm gonna put their names out there. I hope they watch it. The two people that I seek counsel from: Jim Beam and Jack Daniels.
They're your best friends.
New Amsterdam has been, in my corner for quite
I have to agree with you. I just recently came in contact with those two and they're good friends.
Well, if we're talking, I don't have those friends.
My other two friends.
But for me to get clarity,
no.
Let me just be honest.
She got a bud.
His
last name Light.
I don't mess with Bud Light. Code 45.
There it is.
Or I'm gonna be honest, and I don't want no fucking judgment, but I masturbate for clarity. So once I'm done, I feel like I can see everything so clearly.
You're not confusing right now.
Yeah, usually when your eyes roll back in your head,
you're not confused at the moment, are you? Because I'm real scared.
When your eyes roll back in your head, you can see a lot of things.
Yeah. You can see.
You can see the Lord.
Nate over here speechless, like, what the?
I don't know what just happened.
I'm being honest. I'm really being honest. It kind of.
But really, I mean, like I've always, like I said, at this point of our age, in our existence, I mean, how many situations you're going to go through that you don't know or haven't seen?
Right.
And what can people tell us that we don't already know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But see, there's always the intangible of that other crazy person that you don't know what in the hell they're going to do. That's the problem.
Maybe I might consult people to stop me.
You know what should happen.
Yeah.
But when you
what
deal with
should happen and what will actually happen is usually so far
removed. Like,
right, wow. Absolutely. So, and when you think of the other party, it could go far left.
Mm-hmm.
So
just stay far left.
So far left.
Take a break so you can.
No, man, because Nate hating on the fact that
Nate hate. Don't pay him.
Well, he's not the only one.
Let's see.
I don't mean shit. I mean, go ahead. Cause see, that's
Go ahead
the
and beat on your
that's
drums
the
there.
that's the new
That's the new sexy.
the new sexy. It is. If you can beat a steel drum, I thought playing the bass guitar was the shit.
You know
That
what
ain't
I'm
the
saying?
shit no more.
No, piano's still the best. You can play piano.
No,
But
I
they
said
have to have a piano. You know what I'm saying? I can't bring my piano in.
I'm gonna start
Hell
learning.
no.
Look, I play with a piano player, so I see.
I'm gonna start learning how to play again.
Again,
Yeah, I play a little bit.
it's like how'd you lose playing? It's like riding a bike. If you know how to play, you always play.
Because I didn't fully jump into it like I wanted to, because I always watched my father play bass guitar, so I taught myself how to play bass guitar.
I thought you were talking about piano.
That's what
No, but I know how to play. I know how to play a little bit, but to serenade a woman, no,
You got the voice, so.
no. See, I still know how to, but I do know how to play.
Oh, you got the glamorous light.
Oh Lord, oh my God. You don't know chopsticks?
I do know how to play that.
You don't know chopsticks?
See, I
That's
play
like the
some
first
KRS
song that you're
Run,
taught
run, run, run,
on the piano.
That's it.
Uh-huh.
No, I didn't. I always wanted to learn how to play that Big song.
Okay.
The song from Big.
From Big, when they
When
dance on the
they-
piano.
you know.
Yeah.
So
Did you want to play it with your fingers, or did you want
Or
to dance
feet.
it out?
No, man. Let me tell you.
Man, them keys will be smashed.
See, I wasn't even gonna say that. I was going to.
Oh, what you gonna say?
I was gonna just
My
say.
bad.
Everybody.
No, I was gonna talk about my knees, but that's
I
crazy.
forgot about the knees. Oh yeah.
See,
Yeah, we about to
and
be
that's why we hate him.
serenaded.
That's why we hate him. He just busts out with some stuff. Shut it
That was the warm up.
Yeah,
off.
that was a never ending song.
Yes, Lord.
That was a never ending song. Once it started, it'll go right. It just kept going back.
Yeah, you got
So right now we can already have the serenade selection from the one and only Choir Star.
He's gonna be up there. Yeah, you can see.
Okay.
Oh Lord, he's playing this stuff. I was like, that thing dropped. I was like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, them tell them about them knees.
Jeez. Lord have me.
Oh yeah. Yo, I heard you over there, Mr. Sensational. But wasn't that the temptation in my mind? Yeah. I want that thing. Mr. Sensational went silent night on me in my mind.
One of the listeners
at somebody's living room.
missed their period.
Okay.
Go ahead, yes, go ahead.
No, it's not shit, right?
I know, right?
One, two, three, go!
Get it.
Oh, man. Everybody get up. Man, I really hate your ass right about now.
Okay. Get jiggy with it. Oh, shucks. He over here bullshitting around.
Don't fucking jerk me.
I'm just saying, you gonna rock it, rock it.
I'm riding that town, I'm riding that town, I'm riding that town.
Yeah. All right.
Chocolate.
Hey, make you want to make you
That was
want
good,
to get
man.
another one, you know?
All right.
Make
Facebook.
you want to just rock
Join
another
me on
one.
Instagram for the remainder of the show at Queen_Jackie A.
Makes you just want to rock another one.
That was good. But you better bring your A game the next time.
Oh, shit.
Just saying. Alright. Instagram. I still can't do it. Are you back on?
We are still
Where you
live.
at? Where you at, Queen?
It won't let me.
We are still live.
Did she just like blank out in the middle of our show?
I
Yeah.
didn't. I was trying to do something, but it's all good. I just had to go from my phone
Oh, the mercy.
and then upload it. Alright. Because it was let me.
So
Carry
I like
on.
that.
Yeah.
Oh no, we need our antagonist here to get started and whatnot.
Is that what I am?
Yes.
So where were we? We were talking about advice.
You was lying about something I don't know.
Okay, Mr. Sensational. Mr. Sensational, let me just say something. to you.
Yes, dear. Oh Lord.
You enjoy this cat and mouse routine that you and I have, don't you?
You know we should spill something.
I love it. I love it. I think that you like to get me wound up. And I like to be wound up.
We got the whole Bobby and Whitney. We got something.
But I can handle it. So, when we start talking about relationship advice, I think that we should be very careful in whom we're seeking advice from. Not everybody has your best interests at heart.
This is true.
If you are talking to someone and they say, girl, dump his ass, that is a bitter woman that does not have your best interests at heart.
Oh, I know her.
You know, all of us know that person. I think you brought up an interesting, Mark, you brought up an interesting point. You said you don't solicit advice. I think that it's probably not so much us soliciting. We already know what our choices are, but sometimes we just need another voice. You know what I'm saying? But the end game is going to be our decision.
I figured like that person wasn't there when I got into it.
And I think that's good. I think for us, when we make our decision, it's our decision because it's our situation.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't need somebody to cheerlead and say, forget that.
I can
she
dig
ain't
it.
shit. Well, I don't need all that. I've made my decision.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And whether it's right or wrong, it's my
your
decision.
decision. And that's the thing, is being able to live with that decision. We each have our own path. What works for me may not work for the quiet storm. So I think you just have to be selective in who you choose to get advice from. I think that you should be selective with who you share your story with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How do you feel when it comes down to when your parents give you advice?
I respect it
Are
because
they?
my parents are cool. My dad is probably the coolest 70-plus-year-old man in the world. He's but I know I always respect it because I know it's coming from a genuine place. Do I agree with it? Do I always take it? No. And one of the conversations I had with my mom, because she was like one of those people that always used to give advice. And a long time ago, I said, don't get frustrated with us, because I got a brother and sister. I said, you just be the rock. We're gonna do our thing, make our mistakes, but you just be that, that foundation for us. And we'll get it. Because she was at a point where she didn't want us to make any mistakes.
Okay.
And I'm kind of going through that with my daughter, in a sense where I don't believe that you have to go through it to experience it in order for you to learn from it. Mm-hmm. You can see other people messing up and make that decision as well. So coming from a parent standpoint and coming from my parents, I always respected, and hopefully they will respect it too because they know I'm coming from a genuine place.
Yeah. I miss both my parents are deceased. My mom could be rough sometimes because, like, if it was relationship advice, and the first thing she would ask, "What did you do?" Because she knew her children. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't that kind of parent that would automatically take her children's side because she knew us. So I had a lot of respect for her for that. My dad was always going to give it to you dirty raw. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think that's how I am. I think my son is kind of like did you have to say it like that?
Yeah.
But I don't know any other way. I'm not gonna tap dance around something. And I think as far as getting advice, I always went to my dad because I like it brutally honest. I don't want you to
Yeah.
sugarcoat anything
That's what
with
my
me.
dad- my
And
dad
that's
is that
my
way, too.
delivery a lot of times too.
And that's why I don't go to him, because I know he's gonna probably be too honest. You know? I
Yeah.
remember I was like 14 years old, just getting into the dating thing, and I was like, "Hey, Dad, what you think about her?" I'm proud that I have finally had a girlfriend, right? I said, "What you think about her?" And he said, "Nothing spectacular."
Kind of blew your chances. didn't you?
Okay.
like,
I
okay.
mean, way to shoot down the
Yeah,
confidence
I said, you know how hard it is for me to get a break out of my shell, finally have a girlfriend who's
and bring her to him.
yeah. I said, what you think? I'm feeling all proud, you know.
Yeah.
But then when he but when he saw that I was dating somebody good, he said, "Yeah, that's a good one." He would tell me,
Okay.
you know.
He
what I mean?
saw something.
Then sometimes it's like, "We can meet her." I'm like, "Look, slow down, man." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's just he always gave it to me on honesty.
Okay.
Shit, my father wasn't like that. I wish my father was like that.
Two things that my father said to me when I was a child for advice when it came down to women is date older women, and if you decide to have sex, wear a condom. That was it.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Then
That was a lot right there. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah, but there was more than
you
that.
needed more.
There was more than that.
Yeah.
Shit, I was beating my meat. I need help with that. Dad, is this the right thing to do? Or is this the wrong thing to do? Because I'm beating this thing off the hinges right now.
Yeah, it's on.
And I need to know, is this the right thing to do? No, you know what?
Just go
And
ahead
he
and
taught-
bite the pillow.
And he would,
Absolutely.
no more cherry showers.
When in doubt, like you said, don't bite the pillow.
Yeah, man, I thought we'd at least get through a couple of weeks without that.
No chance,
But
bro.
always,
no
That's
chance.
there's always a motherfucker that want to sneak it in.
No chance.
And
If
you
it ain't
see,
coming from this angle, it's coming from this angle.
I
And
didn't
this
even-
angle too.
I didn't even touch it.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't touch it tonight.
You
I
got
was
next
like,
Not tonight.
Not tonight.
Not because there wasn't nothing dealing with it.
It was right there. It was right there.
That
was
was
right
right
there.
there.
Right there,
You
right
did
there.
walk into that.
It's like, well, I mean, hey, but these are the things that I wanted to know. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of things that was going on in my head that I really couldn't talk to my father about. I really couldn't. Now, as I got older, you know, my father, I don't go to him for advice when it come down to women. You know, I mean, I go to my mother. All of my morals come down to relationship came from moms. Treat women like queens. You don't put your hands on women. You don't go looking for trouble. But if somebody put their hands on you, then you defend yourself. You know, all of my morals came from moms because moms had to play mom and dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when I got around dad, it was like, just like you said earlier. What can you tell me?
You know what? I'm gonna throw a wrench in here. Like, so who is teaching these women that we're dating?
Okay, see, here's the thing. You got to understand this. This is 2017.
Let me ask a question.
Yeah, I ain't even want.
That's a great question.
Bam.
But let me also,
Bam.
I
Who's teaching
learned
these women
something.
how to be
First of
ladies?
all, let me say this. I was so honored to sit among the women last night, you know, getting the young perspective, because here's something I learned. I did not know this. I didn't know about the Netflix and chill thing. So can you all enlighten me on that? It's
Woo!
my understanding that Baltimore women don't like to go on dates now because of the Netflix and chill.
So they don't
So
like
tell
to,
me
so they don't
about
like
that.
To, they don't like to actually be taken. So I don't have to, you know, I wouldn't have to take somebody out.
Winner.
No.
I could just.
That's what
you
I'm
know,
saying.
come over my
Yeah.
house and
There's some women that want to go on dates because they don't want to do the Netflix and chill.
Because I think that
Well,
that's
you know-
a guy's cheap way of taking me out. You know what I mean?
But
That's,
the
And the problem
Netflix.
is-
the problem is,
Netflix
damn it,
and
I'm greedy
chill.
and I want to go eat.
But you know
And
what?
that's why
Jackie,
we are
if
not
you on a
together.
if you're on a Netflix, if you're on a Netflix and chill, you know, vibe, you ready to have sex. 'Cause you know what it
Exactly.
means.
That's what it
Exactly.
means.
That's what.
I'm not
That's
gonna-
exactly
First date, I ain't
it.
gonna say come on to
Yeah.
Netflix and chill unless you knew what that's just a code word of saying come on.
But you know what? That's
stating
true.
the obvious.
But there's
without-
also
without-
there's good parts to that, because it doesn't have. I mean, 9 times out of 10, people are thinking, yes, that is basically
A sex. Come
sexual
over. Let's have
introduction.
sex.
However, for those who aren't there, that is one of the better ways of getting to know somebody. You can't have a conversation with someone in a movie theater.
You ain't gonna have a
Can't you have a
conversation at your house.
conversation at the
either.
dinner table?
But look at it this way. Look at it this way. Okay, you go to the dinner theater, to the dinner, whatever the case may be. Now you're making a investment in something that may or may not work out.
Isn't that what dating is?
Yes, but what happened to conversation?
You can't have a conversation on a date.
Why can't you have a conversation sitting down
I
on the
think
couch with someone?
Netflix and chill means come over to my house,
Yeah, to my
and
intimate space.
to my intimate.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And to
Now,
me,
it's-
if I was dating, for me, if it was a 4th date or so, and you said let's do Netflix and chill, I would entertain that. Definitely not for a first date. That's
There's
There's a
just
lot of
me.
women that's doing Netflix and chill. You know why? Because
Exactly.
Netflix have all of the latest movies.
And
So-
you know it's economically
Netflix
accessible.
and chill.
Now I remember before Netflix and chill, a woman invited me over. She said, "Let's come over and watch movies." And she was into movies. She had all these movies,
Right.
And I was like, "Okay, I'm about to get me some movies, right?" So she really wanted to watch movies. I'm like
And you
sitting
were
there like,
disappointed.
But you mean,
And she pulled out movies like Matilda.
grown adult, there's nothing wrong with sitting
Yeah, yeah.
down, watching a movie,
but I thought it was cold.
popping some popcorn,
Yeah.
I'm
and having a
not
conversation
saying that
in a
there's
spot that
something
doesn't
wrong.
have any, you know.
I'm not. I'm
It's all how
saying
you
for
look
a
at it.
first date. I think to me,
You just greedy. that's all.
I'm at 51. I am at 51.
You're not dating.
A Netflix and dating, a Netflix and chill is not a great first date for me.
Let me tell you,
But
there,
I'm
there's
not
been a
going to
lot.
somebody's house
I would like
on
that.
a first
So
date.
these
Well, you already
ladies,
spoiled 'cause
so
you've
these
been married
ladies at
forever,
this place
so
that
yeah,
you
it
spoke
doesn't
with, that's what they would do that on first date.
They wouldn't do that, but
Oh,
they
okay,
was
good.
what they were saying is they didn't know that was the thing, so they hit me to that. You
Yeah.
know, I was just like,
It's just a term.
So how do you
That's-
feel about, okay, well look, on the first date, why don't you come over, I'm going to cook dinner.
Yeah, but that's how way it used to be. But now it's like people ain't cooking.
I
Listen,
can get
listen,
down
that's-
that. I
that's-
can
that-
get
that's
with,
another booty
as
thing.
long as there's an understanding that you're not getting any.
That's the same thing with Netflix. You
That's
can order
another-
pizza, you can cook.
you gotta cook,
I
carry
think
it.
that
You
It's all
gotta
how
cook
you
food
carry
that's gonna make
I
you get out
think
of drawers.
no.
Like
No.
shrimp, a steak.
I think
Porn
for
and chill.
me,
You know,
Go
brothers
on
going
and
on
chill.
a budget nowadays. We ain't dropping
I
$150.
get that. What he say?
Porn and chill.
Porn and chill.
Well, we can do that. I can do that from my house, and you can do that from your house, and we can just be on the phone to see
Porn and chill.
X video and chill.
What movies do you have?
All of them.
Dirk Diggler, The Rod and Correction.
I think that, you
And
know,
the
when
Black
we're talking about
Steve.
dating, I guess I'm so outdated, and I say that all the time because the Netflix and chill thing really blew my mind.
Yeah.
I think it's an economical way for people to do stuff now.
Without stating the obvious. I mean, it's
We
like
can go to Starbucks. That's economical.
The Starbucks might not be
I'm so-
open that
I'm so
late.
glad I'm
You
out
might
there.
not
I
be in the
can't- I
neighborhood.
can't-
Yes,
That's
Lord.
Starbucks.
I
can't.
mean, you
I
know,
can't,
it's
man.
frightening because I'm like, is this what it's come down to? I can
I would be like-
understand economics, but you have Groupon,
Yeah.
so
Groupon.
you can get Groupon and go somewhere and eat.
Let me tell you.
I mean, what? Okay, you said that time of night Starbucks may not be open. So what time of night are you talking about going on a date?
Yeah,
You can go to date.
9
You can
o'clock.
do late night. I mean,
that's too late.
go down
I
low.
think that's too late.
Now,
For me, that would definitely be too late.
that's a
A 7 o'clock date would be fine for me.
I don't go out before
I think 9
9:30.
o'clock. I think that wouldn't that
Listen,
imply
if you
that
take a
late
woman-
that there might be a booty call
right,
or something.
right. If you're taking a woman out at 9
I
o'clock,
think I'm just old.
you already that's like midnight drawers.
That's dinner time.
No, that's not dinner time. That's basically saying, listen, It's 9 o'clock. By the time you eat, it's gonna be 10. You're gonna be sleepy. Then I may get the wrench
gonna
to
be
say,
sleepy.
There's a great
I want to
steak-
take you home.
There's a great steakhouse down at the Horseshoe Casino that's open up all night long. And you can get
Now, I went on a date. When I was dating, we didn't go out till like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
I'm sleepy by then.
What day of the week is this?
This was on a weekend.
Okay.
Oh,
We
okay.
went out.
Okay.
Went out to.
I can get a nap
I mean,
in.
most dates, you kind of skew them towards the weekend anyway.
Okay.
Went out, had a nice dinner, went downtown, had some drinks, went to the harbor, chilled, sat on the bench, talked, had conversation till like 3 in the morning.
Okay.
Then what?
Went home.
That was it?
See,
That
that's
was it.
what he described right there is chemistry, where in a sense where you enjoyed, and that probably that's what, a 6-hour day.
It was like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it didn't even feel that way, right?
Nah.
Yeah. And
That
when
was
you
good.
got
That's a good
when you
date.
got somebody like that, you could do Netflix and chill and actually chill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It
Or
ultimately was a mistake, but that's all I'm saying. But anyway.
But
Why you couldn't just leave it at
Listen,
the date
he was
and
flying
shut
high.
it down?
I was like,
You
and
damn.
know,
just for some reason
come
lost
on.
gas
Come on, man.
and altitude.
But I'm saying
Yes,
people
that was
can do
a
that.
great date.
People can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I
I get
mean?
sleepy, so I would have to take a nap if I'm going on
But
a
you're
9
not gonna be
o'clock
sleepy
date.
if the conversation's good.
Yeah.
You feeling the person.
Yeah.
You getting to know
You
each
think about
other.
time.
I mean, it's like we sat out there. It's like, oh, it's 2:30, 3 o'clock. Everything's closed. I'm hungry. Bang. Got on the phone. Had dessert delivered right there at the harbor at the bench. You know what I'm saying? That
Dessert
stuff
delivered?
Delivered. There's a spot over there found in Fells Point. They deliver like the cookies and ice cream. I said, yo, I'm sitting at the harbor in front of the water. Lady Payne drove the truck and brought the shit to us right there.
See, man, you got
3 in the morning.
That's another action item. We need that, and we need the text commandments. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
I'm a great date.
We need the text
You know what I'm
commandments
saying? I'm a
from
good
you,
2
man,
date
so
guy.
I gotta
You know?
So, but
Two
okay.
days.
2 days.
I'm gonna need
Well,
that.
I better
I'm gonna
eat
need
all
that.
I can in them 2
Yeah,
days.
because you ain't getting shit
I've been
happening.
out all
You
this
might as well stay at the Old Country Buffet for that long.
Right? I'll come pick you up.
Let me tell you the reason why Netflix and chill came in. Netflix and chill came in the play. For the simple fact is that women have become greedy, and
Throw
bougie,
shade.
No shit.
and bougie about where they want to go.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Let's look at the time frame. Back in the day, you could take a woman to
Pizza Hut.
Jack in the Box, get a sandwich. You could take a woman to McDonald's, get a meal or whatever. Fine.
All good. Because
Everything
it's about
moved.
the conversation.
Right. Everything moved up. So now it's to the point where you would take a woman to, let's say, Applebee's.
Dumb.
Applebee's became the spot. Applebee's Fridays became the spot.
Yeah.
That was a good. We called it the
2 for 20.
starter date.
Yeah.
The tape.
Loafers.
So everybody was
love
now
Loafers.
hip to it. Okay, where you want to go? Well, you want to go to Applebee's? Yeah, I like Applebee's. That's a good spot. Now, times has changed. Now women don't want to go no Applebee's because they feel like Applebee's and Fridays is a cheesy place to take a woman.
I would still go there to eat.
A cheesy place
But
to
yet-
take a woman. So now listen.
But
The
then
time-
now
listen.
they-
So look. Hold on. Now
Exactly.
look. Now listen. Look how the timeline moved up. So, what's the timeline to move up? The timeline that moves up was, what's that? Moon something moon. Silver moon.
Mhm.
Is it called Silver Moon?
Yeah, the diners.
Yeah, right. So that was a place to take, a woman.
The late night tip.
Then-
What's that at?
It's in Fells Point, right?
No. Silver Moon is over there by
University?
Oh.
not Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
That's the
University?
tryout.
There's one
You
right
talking
there.
about the sub
Right.
shop.
Well, Silver Moon's right there on Baltimore Street, like it's off of Baltimore Street. But that was a place because they served good food. They was open on almost all night.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
That's a late night.
Right, exactly. So then times has changed. So now you would take a woman that time of the night that he talking, and it's still open. You would go out Route 40 to Double T Diner.
Yeah.
Okay, now Double T Diner serve good food. I've been there. Times has changed. So now what's the thing? Ruth Chris. If you ain't taking a woman, if you want to, I guess, impress a woman, now you taking her to Ruth Chris. I've never been in Ruth Chris. But from what I hear, you go on Ruth Chris and your wallet comes out crying.
Man, I went over there on a first date. It was like, it dropped like $250.
Easy.
And I didn't talk to her ever since after.
You got
$250?
You got a cowboy steak?
They're all the same. But I mean,
Damn.
Good.
Did she get a customary dick?
Yeah, I think, you know, when I never,
Listen.
like for me, I wouldn't have hang-ups about going to an Applebee's or Fridays. I like both places. I like Double T Diner. I think that to ask somebody or expect somebody to take me to a Ruth Chris is kind of, that seems like a lot.
Wait a minute, let me ask you a
that
question.
seems like a
That's
lot.
you. That's you.
Yeah.
So, because you are who you are, you would be happy going to Fridays. You would be
They
happy
got some
going
good-ass
to
drinks.
Applebee's. But these women out here today, if you say, and then you got to be careful of the grade of women, but if you say, if she said, well, where we going tonight? Well, I was thinking about going to Ruth Chris. You may have one woman that be like, oh, he trying to get some ass.
Mm-hmm.
Then you may have a woman that be like,
Well,
oh,
ain't
he's
you trying
taking
to-
me. He's taking me to Ruth Chris.
Please, ain't you trying to get
Oh,
some-
he's going to get some ass.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing. The
Eventually,
problem
yeah,
is,
that's what we're going to get to, but
nowadays,
it ain't no rush.
Yeah.
it seems like the dating groups are more into judging the place by Instagram. It's like, where can I get the pictures from and post that to say, okay, I'm
Oh,
over
is that
here at
what
this
it
nice
is now?
restaurant doing that. Instead of actually, it's not even about the conversation getting to know somebody.
Okay.
It's about where you going to take me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've lost. At that point,
It's
you've
not
lost.
personal
It's not
now
personal at all.
because it's about what you can present on social media.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's a problem.
that is
Well,
a problem.
then it comes down to, I guess, the first impression, last impression. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends on how you. Man, I'm power. I lost power. Thank you, appreciate that. It all depends on. Do we have the same Charlie?
Hell no.
Let me see. Is he yours?
What is it?
Yeah.
No. That's
What you had? That's a note.
no. I got the HCC. Charging in the truck. But it all depends on the grade of where you take a woman if she wants to give you something.
I think
Is
it
that
depends
what
on-
it's
it
come
depends on
down
the type of
to?
woman.
Let me listen.
Huh? It's,
People just go.
And the
for
thing
pictures.
about it is now that the
Wow.
new thing is the Netflix and chill, and a lot of women are going for the Netflix and chill. They especially they want to know, number one, if I'm coming to your house, what Netflix are we looking at? You know, what movie? Are you having food?
Oh, so
Some women may say it's only going to be Netflix and chill.
okay. So
You feel what I'm saying?
So it ain't. It's not just a. It's not just a broad word to saying, "Come on, we're gonna have sex." It's just.
but isn't it
it's actually-
still, if you do that as a woman,
still
you're
coming
leaving
in.
yourself vulnerable?
Absolutely, you still coming
Yeah,
into
so
my.
still,
Unless you're comfortable with me at that level,
Mhm.
being in an intimate setting, you know, why would you even agree to do that?
Right,
Because,
yeah.
like I said, it can lead to it, but it may not, or it may not, you know, I don't know. I just thought Netflix and chill was just a basic way of saying, come on, you know, we're going to have some dinner, watching movies at my house, and eventually lead to sex.
exactly. That's how I took it. I'm like, is that what they're doing now? Clearly.
Yeah.
I'm
But-
so outdated.
But you know, one thing you said one time is that you just blunt. So if it's something that you feel like you want to do, you would rather for the person just to come out and just say it
Yeah.
versus than to beat around the bush.
Don't tell me no.
But the
Netflix
thing
and
about
chill
it
and
is,
do
how many
some
people are
sex.
doing that? Like, how many people will actually say, you know what, this is going to be a Netflix and chill, but I really want to fuck you.
Well, you know, but she probably wants the same thing. The thing of it, keep in mind, this is a two-way thing. I mean,
True.
women.
But women ain't
I
gonna.
think if a woman agrees, she's probably hoping
Yeah.
that it leads to sex.
Where-
But ain't nobody actually coming out and saying that shit.
That's why they came up with that term, Netflix and chill.
Netflix and chill.
Because for most of us, we could rationalize it any way we want to, but for most of the people out there, Netflix and chill means come on over, we gonna have sex.
Fuck.
And it's just a nice way of saying it.
Well, the thing about it is, I'm gonna tell you automatically, I don't even have. I got cable. I ain't got Netflix, so we can look at something on
Redbox and chill.
No, not Redbox. Not Redbox. They cost too. They cost.
So you
No, I
want the
got
free stuff?
what is Comcast?
Hulu?
I got on demand. We can watch a movie on demand.
Well, Fire Stick, a lot of people now have the Fire Stick, so.
Demand and chill.
Well, she gonna get the Fire Stick.
She gonna get yeah.
Well, if it's on fire,
fire.
she might not want it. If it's burning.
And I started to agree with you, bro. But I was like,
You better leave that
I
alone.
better leave that one alone.
You gonna leave me hanging. Thanks.
I mean, no, hey,
He
hey,
didn't leave you
hey,
hanging on that one.
hey,
Like if
I'm gonna
it's,
leave you.
if
Hey,
it's on fire.
listen. Now you know how I feel about the pillow. You leave me, leave me hanging out there. Don't say nothing. Bye.
So, because we're like getting down to the wire, what's your final thoughts on tonight's topics?
Netflix and chill.
I'm gonna actually start with the Quiet Storm.
Okay, what did we talk about earlier? we had two topics. I want
The women
Oh man.
being judged from appearance.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, I'm not as young as I used to be. I think the judgment thing, like I said, I'm not a judgmental person, but I think it's a fact that you're going to be judged. You're always going to be judged by your appearance, initial appearance, until you prove otherwise.
Yeah.
So, it would be good for you to break the stereotype that you're going to be fighting a battle because you're already putting yourself at a particular rung of the ladder.
Right.
As far as the judgmental ladder, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you up for the fight, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, it is the way society is now. You're going to be judged by your initial appearance, whether you look sharp, whether you dress up, whether you dress down, or however you carry yourself, until you prove otherwise.
Right. Mr. Sensational, final thoughts?
As far as the judgment thing, I do agree that sometimes women are their own worst enemy.
Yeah.
But if you see someone that, if you feel that strongly that it disturbs or offends you, instead of reacting negatively, talk to that person.
Absolutely.
Of course they might have low self-esteem. They might be going through something. They might think they might not have understood you don't need to do that to get attention. I think there's a problem with women not mentoring other women.
Absolutely.
And forgetting that the sisterhood of women, that we really need to have those communication lines and build each other up.
Yeah. I agree. And we are ending, so
Why do you always say that?
Because I think that you want to give a 20-minute closeout, and we're just wrapping up.
I'm gonna just say, ain't that something?
Hey.
The way I feel is this: if you're a woman, you're already being judged. You never put yourself in a predicament to be judged. So instead of you trying to act the age or dress of an age that you know is not your age, dress your age. Men, we don't. If you coming out looking decent, we don't have anything to say. We may say hello or whatever, but if you come out dressing like a tater tot, then we're going to have something to say about that. Because you're basically saying, listen, you don't have to buy the meat. The meat is right here. So we do that because y'all are dressed like that. And it's the same way as a man. If we want you women to take us seriously, we're going to dress accordingly and appropriately. If we start dressing with the muscle t-shirts and pants hanging down below our ass, y'all women will never take us seriously. Never. So, you dress to be respected. That's it.
Okay. That was great commentary from my men's and them. What I'm gonna say, what I'm gonna say on the topic, dress in the way that makes you feel good. For me, it's no. I think that I'm not that cut and dry. I'm just live in a way that's comfortable for you. Free your mind. If it makes you feel good, by all means, do it. For me, it's like live and let live. If I want to come out with 7 colors, so be it. That's my point of view on that. If you feel good, dressing sexy, that's your thing. But if it's because of a need for attention, then perhaps maybe you need to do a self-eval. You know what I'm saying? I think no matter what, embrace who you are and love the person that you are. And if there's some things that you are unhappy with, do, some things to change that. As far as judgment, I'm not going to say I don't, but what I will say, I'm very cautious when it comes to that. I think that we live in a society where we should always uplift one another, no matter what. That's my final thought. I got a big surprise for us for Halloween. My men's and them are going to be dressed in costume. In case they didn't know it, I'm putting it out there now. I don't care what they come dressed as, but we will be dressed in costume on October 30th. They're looking at me simple, but I need them to get their minds right. The queen is out. Thank you for tuning in to the Intimacy Chronicles.
All I need is a trench coat and a fig leaf. I tagged you on that one. That's what I was trying to find.
I think you should come dressed as that.
No.
No, read the note.
No.
Okay. Oh, see.
I was like, I posted this last week.
Wow. Y'all better get y'all minds right for